Retrograde Amnesia is a member of the Greenlit Podcast Network, a coalition of creator-owned podcasts focused on video gaming, entertainment, and pop culture. Go to greenlitpodcast.com to find out about all the great shows on the network. Hey, Eric.
Hello, Chris.
Would you like to visit us at patreon.com/retroam?
In my URL search bar?
Yes, go in there. You can support us on Patreon and get bonus episodes, mini-series, and more. Would you like to hear some hot sounds that I've recorded?
Yeah.
Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia, a comprehensive podcast where we discuss classic JRPGs chapter by chapter, beat by beat. In this series, we are covering Chrono Cross. Tonight, we're heading north in search of some answers, but first, let's explore the beautiful port town and try to remember what it feels like to explore towns in real life, because we don't get to do that anymore. My name is Chris. I'm joined tonight by Eric. Hey, Eric.
Hello, Chris.
You sound downtrodden tonight.
Well, I was going to come up with, I haven't slept in, 40 hours or whatever, so that sucks. But I was
that's not good, Eric.
No, it didn't. Sleep didn't work last night. How the fuck do I know? But I was going to, try to think about last time I explored a town on foot, and that shit's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, if you can do it in a safe way, in a town you're not familiar with, it's great. I recommend it.
Well, let's do it in a fake world soon. We're also joined tonight by the RealNet, a collective of patrons who are listening to us record live. You too can join the conversation at patreon.com/retroam.
We're also joined by the Fake Net, our post-production AI companion.
What up, Fake Net?
Initializing Fake Net.
I'll tell you what's up. In T2, Terminator 2, while out of character, the T-1000 was morally correct to wave a shameful, naughty boy finger at John Connor.
We're getting into some new content tonight. We're heading into a new chapter. We have to do the chapter guessing game.
The chapter game where there's one actual title and two that Chris has made up.
Before we do that, we have to have a pronunciation conversation.
Okay. Yeah, again, Surge.
Acacia Dragoons?
Oh, God. Acacia? Okay, what we have to do, we have to stay true to our word.
Okay.
We have to make Fake Net say it, and then we will reproduce whatever Fake Net says.
Initializing Fake Net.
Well, first off, you can't make me say anything. This service is a courtesy. Second, it is clearly pronounced Acacia, the Acacia Dragoons.
So, Eric, is this next chapter is called The Port Town of Termina. Is the subtitle The Pride of the Acacia?
Acacia, but due to the magic of editing, the boys haven't heard me say this yet.
The Pride of the Acacia
Dragoons?
Dragoons. The mysterious motives of the Acacia Dragoons, or all dragoons are bastards.
Oh, good. Very timely. My guess will be based on the Japanese love of alliteration. So the middle one, can you repeat that?
The mysterious motives of the Acacia Dragons?
Yeah, I'm 95% sure you made that up, but I fall for alliteration 100% of the time.
Got your ass. You're wrong.
It's the first one, isn't it?
The answer is the Pride of the Acacia Dragoons. So, sorry about that, Eric.
They are a prideful lot.
Yes. So the first thing we do is we go to Termina.
Fuck no, it isn't. The first thing I did was go to Viper Manor.
Oh, you can't do much there. What happens?
One guard tells me, this is Viper Manor.
Oh.
The other one screams, identify yourself.
And did you?
Neither one of them let us in.
Yes, indeed. Then did you go to Termina?
Yes, I did.
Okay. It looks pretty cool from the world map. You can. One thing that's interesting to note from the world map is that you can get a real good sense of where you're going when you click on the location, because the hand-drawn version of that from the outside is really nice looking and usually pretty vibrant.
It's like a storyboard of the actual thing, and I like that, but it also kind of ruins the perception that what you're exploring is just a small portion of these towns.
Yeah.
Because it actually illustrates where everything is, and if you look, there's a large boat currently parked at Termina, and that's also illustrated in that render.
Did you have pretty strong memories of this place? Because I did.
Not really. I mean, I had played Smash at this point before I played Chrono Cross, so Termina to me meant something different.
Ah, okay.
And I remembered how white it is.
Yes. You mean the buildings?
The buildings, yeah.
Okay.
I want to talk about that a little bit later. But the first thing we hear when we get to Termina is the song Home Termina.
It's playing the homeworld version of the Termina song.
It's very weird.
When you go in, and then it switches after this opening conversation.
Yeah.
I have the song down as Termina parentheses homeworld, but
It's basically a sea shanty if it were inside of Xenogears, and it's what I assume bagpipes are in there as would give it its distinct feel. And later on, there's a tambourine and a flute joins the medley.
Yes. Do you think that was deliberate or an accident? They just like...
I don't know, because you look it up and it's not... Usually the way the soundtrack goes is it's in the order as it appears in the game.
Yeah.
But this is slightly out of order. I don't know if it's supposed to reference something or not, but this is not the music for this Termina.
Indeed. So when we enter this place, we are sort of eavesdropping on a conversation between the flower lady, who indicates to a man that she is out of Bellflowers because of a ruckus going on in Fossil Valley.
Yes.
So whatever we just experienced when going through Fossil Valley, that is holding up, some sort of economy or some sort of trade.
Yeah, that, and also we got the last Bellflower when we were there.
Yes. This man, he's a young portrait man, so he's probably important. He's wearing bronze armor and has a cross-shaped scar on his cheek, and he apologizes to her. He says, "We are here to protect you as Acacia Dragoons." The lady then asks about Karsh, and the man indicates that he heard that Karsh has gone ghost hunting. Lord Viper ordered him to go.
Yeah, the guy that's talking is just a private. He doesn't know much.
Right. Do you think that, or is this the first time that we've heard of Lord Viper?
That's what I think so.
Yeah.
My question was, is Lord Viper the he that Karsh was referring to?
Could be, or could be the additional evil at play here that we don't know about yet.
So then, after that, this young man walks up the stairs and control is granted to the player.
Yes.
I did want to comment on the general air and vibe of this place, though.
Yeah.
Termina appears to be a town carved entirely out of stone, and it reminds me, when you go to like a beachside town, at least in the United States, it's a different kind of architecture than we see here in our Kentucky cityscapes, where everything's made of wood and then protected with brick skin.
Yeah.
Like everything down there is built to survive turbulent weather.
Yes.
Everything is also sun-bleached and bright, and while it may have been here a very long time, it all appears well kept.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting is this place is almost entirely covered in decorative flower wreaths, but we later learn that it's all dressed up for an occasion that it is going through a little bit later.
As this man walks off, Kid has a little bit to say. Oh, you didn't have Kid with you, did you?
No.
You had Lena. Okay, so Kid adds some additional flavor here when this man walks off. She says, "Oi, did you hear that? Karsh is that bastard we saw at the Cape. And that ghost he's hunting, ain't that you, mate? So that Acacia Dragoon mob is behind this after all. Kid called the Dragoons a mob. Kid, welcome to the Resistance."
She also called him a fucking bastard.
Yeah.
So what's interesting about the ghost thing is it makes Karsh's task more interesting than I thought. To me, it suggests that what's happening to Surge happens all the time in this world, and perhaps agents of the state are dispatched to take care of ghosts or dimension hoppers or whatever it is to prevent time paradoxes.
I think they're just...
It's not that, but it could suggest that.
I think that what the Dragoons are, at least from what we can tell at this point in time, is they're the police of this place.
I was thinking they're more like a private militia that defected off of a military, based on what we learned later.
Yeah, but in terms of this territory, I think they are basically the authority force.
The cops for the one town and the 8 weird
I think they're the cops for the whole archipelago. No.
Which is one town, right?
Well, that's true. There's a couple more. Anyway.
So what's also notable about this place, when you walk in, there are flags blowing in your pre-rendered background, and they don't blow in a static pattern. They have like 2 or 3 different motions that they cycle through.
Yes, there's flags. They're very vibrant looking. And this is the point when the music changes too. Music switches to Termina, another world, right?
I think you mean another Termina.
Another Termina, another world. It's all the same.
And this one is more high energy, and I'm pretty sure it uses a fucking didgeridoo.
I don't know what a didgeridoo is. I wrote the song as festive and happy, and the bagpipes are loud, and life is good.
Yeah.
This is
It does more to enforce the Bizarro World stuff by changing to like 25% of a different song immediately.
Yeah, I have specific memories of this song, because I remember at some point in time, I don't know why or how, I remember getting lost or forgetting what I was supposed to do here and just wandering around and not knowing what to do, and this song being just imprinted in my brain to a point to where I hated it, not because I didn't like the song, but because I associated it with getting stuck in this game at some point.
Yeah, it's a little wacky.
It is sort of, at times, not always, as you said, but at times it's kind of close to the pastoral tunes that Mitsuda has done that often accompany the early portions of games.
I mean, it uses bagpipes, and the Irish influence in Xenogears is still fresh in our brains.
Yes, and I thought about both the Millennial Fair song and My Village is Number 1 from Xenogears when hearing this, although it's less... This song is more slower and more ordered than those songs. So it's like there's a fucking festival going on here, but also there's police everywhere.
Yeah. When you played this back in the day, did you put together that each quote-unquote world had different themes for each of its cities?
I don't think that I was astute enough to notice that.
Me neither. I know that the world map did because you would shift between them so rapidly.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know that I ever picked it up. Or like music, I thought about, games had cool tracks, but like the Final Fantasy soundtrack wasn't on Napster for me. I couldn't just listen to this outside of playing the game.
Yeah, that's true. The accessibility of the tunes was not there. So have we talked about the various insignia and banners and the floral decor all over this place in general, the general feel of the town?
Are we still on the first screen?
Yeah, I'm just saying in general, everywhere you go in this... Let me make some more general comments and then we'll go into the specifics.
Okay.
So I also noticed a lot of the various insignia and banners and all these different things hanging. Also, there's an excessive amount of floral decor here, so you can tell something's going on here. Yeah. Otherwise, or this town is constantly maintained to be beautiful. There are also posters of Nikki everywhere.
Do you know what poster that is?
No.
It's the Michael Jackson His Story poster.
Really?
He's wearing the exact same double-barreled chest straps.
Wow.
Like it is, if you look at them side by side, it's clear that is exactly what they were going for with that.
Wow. And Nikki, you can even tell just by looking at him on these posters, he's got some strong Marilyn Manson vibes, kind of. He's
a pastiche, in my opinion, of Marilyn Manson, David Bowie, Michael Jackson. He says an Axl Rose line later, like...
Yeah. David Bowie's a good one, too. And also, as we go here, this is the first major hub town, and I become immediately curious about this world's economy, culture, and what are the politics that are going to play out in this game. Something that I probably wasn't interested in figuring out, back in the day. But
you do get to talk to a bunch of people here who are just maintaining this economy.
Yes.
Later on. So the first person you can talk to here is, of course, the flower lady.
Yes. She suspects we might be tourists.
Yeah. She tells us that the soldier we were speaking to was Glenn.
Yes.
And she says it surprises her to see that naughty little boy grown so mature.
Yeah.
It makes her feel her age.
She calls him Dear Sweet Glenn as well. I remember hearing about Glenn being in this game before it was released.
In Glenn, should we reference who Glenn was in Chrono Trigger? Because Glenn's a very important name.
It's an important reference, and I remember being like, "Oh, Glenn's in the game," or seeing a screenshot in a EGM or something, and seeing that and getting immediately excited, like maybe that's the Glenn, maybe that's Frog, but it's not.
Isn't it Glenn with one N in Chrono Trigger as well?
I think it is, but I don't know if that's changed in the DS retranslation.
Even still, there's a lot of references that they will deliberately make to reference something, not to imply a story connection.
Yeah.
Just to remind you of the feeling of a person.
That's true. And he is.
Yeah, so it is just a coincidence that both of these Glenns are very awesome.
Yep.
So above her stall is a person hanging laundry.
Yes.
They say they enjoy the sun-dried smell it creates. She hates the rain, but confesses that without it, there would be droughts.
Thanks for nothing.
Your parents ever have a laundry line in your backyard? I know nobody does that in the year of our Lord 2020, but...
I feel like yes.
Yeah, mine did too.
Yeah. When I was very young, yeah.
The clothes on the clothesline are also blowing very impressively.
Yeah, it is really nice looking.
So then I walked up the stairs, the first flight of stairs.
Yes.
You know who I saw up there?
Did you... Who?
Kid.
Oh, Kid was there.
Yes. Oh. Chris already has Kid. Kid was there waiting for me.
Cool. What'd she have to say?
She says that Serge is slow, then teases him for making a lovely lady like her wait forever. She then says, that's it. She notices Lena, walks right in front of Lena, faces her, then says, I get it. This Sheila over there is your sweetie, eh? I'm right, ain't I? No need to be shy. I'm not so bold as to break up lovers' tender moments. I'm understanding. I'll wait until your little date's over. Well then, have a bloody good time. Chris, what do you think Sheila means?
I don't know. Did you look it up?
I did.
Okay.
It's an informal way of saying young woman in Australia and New Zealand.
Cool.
I thought it meant like hussy type thing, but apparently it isn't completely without disrespect.
Yeah, if Kid had an American accent, she would definitely be saying hussy a lot, I think.
One of those. So why does Kid give a shit about Serge, and why is she so defensive?
I think that she has an idea. I think she's based on what I know from having Kid with me, she's interested in all of this because of Karsh's interest in Serge.
And is she just looking for a way into Viper Manor, and that could be a possible end?
Yes.
So as we're going to figure out a lot when we play this game, much to my disappointment, Pashul and Lena no-sell all of this.
Oh, yeah?
Which Lena didn't be like, I don't like him like that. She didn't. Like, I would have wanted Lena to say, no, he died 10 years ago. The grave was real. He's also real. I'm just curious. My friend runs the flower shop, by the way. I'm just passing through.
Yes.
Whatever.
Interesting.
So then the middle of this town square has a navy blue art symbol emblazoned on the ground. It looks like some kind of compass with a key inserted through the middle.
Maybe this is the emblem of the town.
I think so, but it's weird. It's really busy.
It's not the Dragoon's emblem. It's a little bit different.
On the top right of this little screen is a stone tower Surge can climb on top of. It does not appear to serve a purpose, but neat. Maybe it's a lookout?
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of pointless JRPG excursions, and that definitely is one.
Yes. There's no ghost in this trash can.
Did you talk to the lady outside of the bar looking at the picture of Nikki?
Yes. This person is commenting about how that singer Nikki looks like a girl.
Uh-oh.
And then says, nowadays, even boys are becoming glamorous. As long as it's trendy, I might as well join the youngsters and show off my go-go dancing.
Yeah, she used to say it was a luxury for girls to wear makeup.
Yes. Did you speak with the poster?
You can talk to the poster?
Yeah, well, you can interface with the poster. It says, the Rockin' Bard Nikki arrives. 3 exclamation points.
Rockin' Bard. Witness
a superstar for the ages. Location, Viper Festival Special Stage.
Christ.
Yeah. Wagons. So, next thing, we go up the stairs more?
Yep.
Okay. And then there's a guy.
Yeah, the camera pans up to reveal a man polishing a statue of General Viper.
Yes.
He's speaking to the statue.
He is indeed. He seems to be taking great pleasure in this.
He promises to make the statue shine again.
Yes, and when you approach, he comments about how it's squeaky clean now. He notes that Termina is peaceful thanks to the watchful eye of Master Viper.
Mm-hmm.
He says of Master Viper, at times warm, at times strict. Master Viper watches over us always. Then he tells us that Master Viper lives in his manor along with the Acacia Dragoons. The dude said he was invited there a while back and says it's beautiful and its design incorporates the surrounding terrain to its advantage, making it an impenetrable fortress. There are powerful soldiers that can destroy any monster in one blow. This guy's got some big-time sycophant MAGA energy going on here.
He says we'll never get invited to a garden party there. And do you ever meet someone and then, like, within, let's say, the second part of your first conversation, they somehow name drop they've been to a place that they think is very cool, but you didn't give a fuck, like whatever it is they're talking about?
Yes, I know.
Yeah, I've been on the floor of the Yum Center before. Maybe you haven't been there, but I shot a free throw there one time.
Eric, you know who that person is?
No.
My dad.
Really?
Yeah.
I met
he tells me all the fucking time that he's met Nancy Pelosi. And she's nice. And I'm like, okay, Dad.
Great.
She wants the union vote, motherfucker. I've got some kid stuff here.
Okay, yeah.
Because you don't have kid, right?
She then, after he said we'll never be invited to a garden party, she walked up the stairs.
Oh, okay. So
what'd she say for you?
In my case, she just notes that we've got to sneak into Viper Manor. And she gives Surge his motive at that point in time. He's like, she says, you got to find out what those Acacia Dragoons are up to, right? Why was Karsh trying to capture you? And then she goes on to say that she also has business there.
And wants to tag along. It's the exact same dialogue for me. She walked up and said, okay, that's settled. We got to sneak into Viper. It's the exact same thing.
I have the ability to also agree or disagree, but I just agree because she's already with me.
I agree too. I don't think you can turn her down.
Yeah. I think you can turn her down here. Like there is the...
Should I have done that?
No, I don't think it actually does anything different because I think she shows up again.
She will be in Viper Manor later,
Yeah.
So she also notes that Viper Manor is a big place, which means it will be easy to sneak in.
Of course.
There's got to be more than one way to sneak in, but if we fuck this up, it could cost us our lives.
Ooh. Wow.
She then gave me a very special piece of equipment, Chris. I think you already have it.
Oh, was it the teleporter?
Yes. Which breaks the fourth wall and allows us to exchange party members from afar. Kid refuses to explain the details and implies we will learn them on our own. And for me, this is where Kid joined my party, victory theme, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Also, this means for me, goodbye forever, Pashul.
Yeah. Sorry, Pashul. I still have Mojo with me at this point in time, and the whole time I'm like, man, I really wish I would put Pashul back in that party.
I kind of want to like put a Game Shark code in and then just have a shithead party the entire time.
Yeah.
Like pink floofs.
So you found the hidden guy up here, right?
Yes.
He gives us a frame.
He's on the west side near the building.
Yeah, I don't think you can see him.
He's not.
He's just like, I'm over here chilling, man.
He says it's hot standing in the sun, and so staying in the shade to cool off. He wants Surge to know he's not some kind of hoodlum.
Yeah.
He asks if you get his drift. And you can answer, understood, or I don't understand.
What she said.
If you say understood, you get that T for 3 frame. If you say I don't understand, he's like, fuck you.
T for 3 frame is a little bit too much for me, so at this point in time, I was rocking with the default, but I later switched to the plain one. I like the plain one, but we'll see.
I like plain.
Yeah.
So there's a person... When you first walk up on the left, there's a girl playing hopscotch, which to me is a bit of the bumping the lamp technique. Are you familiar with bumping the lamp?
No.
In Who Framed Roger Rabbit, there's a scene where Roger Rabbit is being interrogated, and his head or somebody hits the lamp above him, and projecting that light on Roger as he moves around the room and the people in real life and the camera moving was something that Disney did because it was hard. Like, not for any, just to say, hey, they're flexing, basically.
Yeah.
So a little girl playing hopscotch on a pre-rendered screen back and forth, to me, seemed like, look at this shit we can do.
Yeah. Well done.
It was a nice touch.
Well done, you guys.
She also says she isn't waiting for anyone, whatever the hell that means.
Yeah, of course not. The next person up here there's a lady at the top. She's kind of directing flower installation.
Yeah.
And she says that it's our way of showing our gratitude toward Master Viper. We are really thankful to Master Viper for our town's peace. And
is there a modern equivalent town where everybody worships the cop?
I wrote down here, Master Viper could shoot someone on 5th Avenue and we'd still vote for him. So
I was going to say that sheriff's all the merit badges on him.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
You know, prisoner dies in his cell sometimes. Who cares?
Yeah. Shit. God. The point here is that Master Viper is a real demagogue here. People love him.
Yeah.
He can do no wrong.
I wonder if the flower things are tied in later. Like, are we going to expect his office to be adorned in flowers, or is this just how they pay tribute? Is because there's a massive boot or greenhouse thing here, except for Bellflowers, which they can't find.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe because there aren't any flowers, because you all cut them all off.
Yeah.
Good God.
Digging holes.
Okay, so you want to start going inside places on this first screen?
What's the first place you went to?
The inn.
Ah, me too.
You know what's inside the inn?
The save point.
The save cube. The record of fate.
The record of fate.
The record of fate.
All right, this is our first actual record of fate that we can access.
Yes.
I love how it's right in front of the travel pamphlets.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. It's a great touch.
There's a nice little kiosk with travel pamphlets. I love shit like that.
This whole place is extremely detailed. There's like stone floors. There's like cloth that's swathed over the counter in the front.
There's blue rugs. There's abstract art with a bunch of shapes on the front desk.
Yeah,
There's
place
novelty life preservers in the doors above each room.
Full of knickknacks. It's great.
Giant flower wreath. There's a dragoon in the corner.
Yes, he says that this is a real hotspot for rogues and vagrants. He's here to check for anyone suspicious, a.k.a. he's there to profile people.
Yes, he's definitely the constable here.
Yeah.
We can stay here for 100G, but I don't want to stay here because I'm all healed up.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go into the rooms anyway?
Yes, one room is just empty, right?
They're both empty, but they're like cool room. The one on the left has beige bedding and carpet. A giant chest of drawers is blue and spans the whole length of the room. The bed frames are also blue, and there's clothing hooks on the wall and a blue stripe around the whole room. It offsets the white concrete very nicely. The other room is mostly the same with green accents. There's a shit bucket present.
Oh, cool.
But it's next to a table and not a chair. In the other room, there's a chair and a shit bucket next to it. And I want to now maintain the Chrono Cross toilet count.
Oh, okay.
The Chrono Cross toilet count.
Do these count as toilets? It's a bucket next to a chair and there's no other rooms.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they don't have plumbing here.
Okay.
They just shit in buckets and throw it into the sea.
Yeah, okay. So these are 2 toilets. We're going to go ahead and mark that as 2 toilets.
Return your shit to Mother Sea. Sure, yeah. So this is number 1? There's 2. There's one in each room.
There's a bucket in each room. And why else would unless it's for bathing.
Okay, there are 2
Maybe
toilets.
you bathe and shit in the same bucket.
So if we go to Termina in the home world and there's shit buckets here, do they count?
What if Homeworld has actual toilets? What are the subtle details? It's just one culture didn't invent plumbing because they killed the guy that did it.
It is our mission to find this stuff.
Mojo didn't inspire someone to invent poop tubes.
Damn it. Okay, so in the right-hand room, there's some people in here. They appear to be talking to each other, and the guy says, "Hi-ho." He gets very amped, and that they use the greeting that they were taught by the hero Pierre. These people are here visiting from Poor.
I didn't have these fucking guys.
Oh. The lady in there says if we ask the boy near the shrines, we can ride a boat. So this tips you off of where Pierre is and where Korcha is.
Right.
So later. So
I didn't get any of that.
So I did notice there's a couple of NPCs that in other parts that only appeared occasionally.
Yes, I noticed that as well.
So maybe these people also apply here.
I think it's various flags get lifted depending on who you talk to.
Yeah.
Yes, the next place is the bar, and it does look like a church.
It looks like the inside of a church, and those are real things. Like
bar churches? Yeah, there's several here.
Yeah, there's one like 3 miles down the road here. Those places make great bars.
Dude, I went to, in Newport, there's a concert venue that's an old church, and that shit is awesome for that stuff.
Yeah, the brewery around the corner here is perfect because it's got a lot of open air, and being inside doesn't feel crowded.
This place is candlelit by 2 massive chandeliers. There's 2 tables each, and each have 2 people. The bar itself is over in the left corner. Did we say it was called the Dragoon's Tail?
I got Dragon's Tail, but maybe it's Dragoon's Tail.
I think she says it later.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a sign above the bar.
Yeah, and it's hard to interpret. The guy at the first table has been fired from his job and is strapped for cash. He asks if we've heard of the Frozen Flame. The choices are yeah and what's that, and I like exposition, so I pick what's that.
Yep, I also said I didn't know what it was. He says that it's a treasure, the ultimate treasure in the world. It's rumored that the radical dreamers are after it, but this dude is going to get it and become the richest man in the universe. He says that's his Terminian dream.
I wrote down Termination Dream. I guess Terminian's better.
The other guy, a person...
He also toasts and he raises his glass when he toasts.
I didn't notice that. The other person at the table, who seems to be also dressed for church for some reason, is also talking about the frozen flame. He thinks it's probably a monster of some sort. Once you gaze on it, boom, you're well done, like steak on a barbecue. Barbecue in Termina confirmed, I guess.
He says you're free to dream, but daily work is always the best. Nothing beats hard work and dedication.
Another one of these fucking guys. We experienced a couple of these fucking guys in Terranigma.
Just live to work.
Patreon.com/RetroAM.
I mean, him and his buddy who got fired really do represent a yin and yang there, right?
Yeah, that's true.
They're both drinking for different reasons.
Well, aren't we all? Except for us, we're drinking for the same reasons.
That's
podcasting. Right.
At the other table, a lady has seen Miss Riddell visiting the shrines again.
Yes.
She made a darling couple with her childhood sweetheart, Dario.
Oh, the one from Taco Bell.
That's right.
Okay.
It's such a pity that he died so young. They say beautiful women rarely find happiness. And then you can make a choice.
Yeah.
You can tell her, you look happy or you look unhappy. Chris, in real life, you say neither of these things.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. In real life, you're like, I don't play your games, lady.
No.
I know you're trying to be charming. You're trying to back me into a corner, but I'm not fooled.
Did you speak to her?
Yes. I said that she looks unhappy.
So did I.
She thanks me and notes the flattery.
Yeah, because we clearly played into her game.
Yes, for sure.
The other person at the bar says that ever since Dario died, one of the chairs for the four devas...
I say
Divas?
Davis. I looked up this word because this word is also used in Ogre Battle to describe its legendary hero knight type characters. Mm-hmm. It's a word that's used in a couple of different religions. I think most notably Hinduism as it's like a god. It's a supreme being.
Initializing fake net.
Devas are a member of a class of divine beings in the Vedic period, which in Indian religion are benevolent and in Zoroastrianism are evil. Chris, imagine the duality.
And it appears that they're using this word to sort of worship their own people.
It's the opera singer in Fifth Element.
Yes.
Since Dario's death, one of the four devas of the acacia dragons is vacant. Sir Viper is said to be looking for candidates. He doesn't see anyone reaching the caliber of the great Dario and wishes he was a little younger.
That's a good bit of exposition there because that's actually a relevant piece of the story that we're going to be informed about later. And you don't need to get this bit of context to understand this, but it's nice they're throwing all these things in there to reinforce some of these storylines that are going on.
How long do you think Dario's been dead? Wouldn't you think they want to fill that void pretty quickly?
Maybe the standards are high.
Good point. They can't find anyone.
Mm-hmm.
All the soldiers from Army have died off. The bartender says, "Welcome to the Dragon's Tail. It's open to all, but they don't allow tabs or brawls.
Oh.
Put your feet up and have a good time." And then the bartender also said she loves travelers. Some guys order more squid guts, and she asks him to please order something else.
Yeah, he doesn't just order it, he hollers for it.
Yeah, squid guts.
Yeah, give me that squid gut pasta, my guy.
Did you go in the back door?
I think they say don't go in there, right?
Yes, also it's locked.
Yes, okay. Finally, there's a masked portrait man in the corner of the bar.
Yes, he's wearing a gold fuck party mask.
He's also wearing a beautiful Magic Man suit and his long purple hair. His name is Guile.
Magic Man suit.
Yeah. He states that he is having a certain bet with the fortune teller by the bridge. He says, if I can bring the item of proof from the manor within a week, I shall win. If I cannot, I shall lose. But, and then later he says, as there is a trick to any mysterious magic, there is no such thing as an impregnable fortress in this world. A toast to my coming victory.
Guile raises his hand.
Yes. He also somehow notices that we have business at the manor as well. He says that we need a seasoned sailor and his sturdy boat to cross the rough waters. He says that if we can do that, he can get us into Viper Manor. And then you have the option to accept his help. At this point in time, I declined. People who play this game know this game has 3 paths to Viper Manor. We're going to cover all 3 of them.
But for now, we're still exploring.
Yes, indeed. We should note this now that this character was originally supposed to be written into the game as Magus from Chrono Trigger. But Kato has said in interviews that it didn't quite work out. I still think there's some fun headcanon things that you can do with this guy along the way. Mm-hmm. So I'll try to point those out as much as possible.
Hey, Chris, you know what actually didn't work out?
Because they only finished 2 character arcs.
Because you kill Magus.
Oh, okay, yeah, right, yeah. I loaded my save from Super Nintendo.
Imported it through...
I miss save loadings. I miss importing my save, like notably in like Mass Effect or Suikoden 1 to 2. You know?
Getting that hot data in there.
It's good, man.
Feels good.
It does feel good.
Video Death Loop is a podcast where we watch a short video clip on loop until we just can't take it anymore. Along the way, we'll try our best to make each other laugh and to hold out longer than the other guy. You can jump in on any episode, no need to worry about continuity. Check out Video Death Loop on the Greenlit Podcast Network with new episodes every Friday.
This week on the Super Nintendads, Blake J. Harris and Jonah Tulis, co-directors of Console Wars.
Is Nintendo the villain?
It's definitely a David and Goliath story. Sega could have had the PlayStation and the N64.
Oh my god, this is the coolest thing ever.
Blast Processing, Reebok Pumps. What is your favorite BS marketing push of all time?
Sonic 3 with lock-on technology and working with Michael Jackson.
Yeah, we
and all
love that. Were you Sega or Nintendo kids?
I mean, I was a Nintendo kid.
PS5 versus the Xbox. Who's coming out on top here? Right here on Greenlit.
So anyway, where'd you go next?
Lisa's.
Yeah, Lisa's shop. There's shit everywhere in here.
Yeah.
Another place that's just full of knickknacks.
Another big poster on the right wall. I wonder if it's Nikki. There's all kinds of wares and trays out front. Lisa, with blonde hair, wearing a blue outfit, is moving stuff back and forth. So she is owner-operator, no employees.
She's a portrait vendor.
Also a cat asleep in the corner. What? Oh, yes.
She's a vendor who has a portrait. She
Okay, I
does
was
not
like,
sell
she's
portraits?
selling me portraits? What the hell did I miss?
Yeah.
A dragoon is here looking for good elements, but she tells me I won't find anything back here as I rush behind her counter.
Yep, sure.
Her character walks in front of me and I'm trapped back here forever. Game reset.
Oh shit, I'm sorry that happened to you. Too bad you can't use the teleporter to get your ass out of this situation.
God damn it. So you didn't have Lena, did you?
No.
What were your interactions with Lisa like? Was that it?
Just purely business.
I approach her properly from the customer counter as opposed behind.
Yes.
And Lisa recognizes Lena, saying, "Long time no see." Lisa assumes Serge is Lena's boyfriend and teases Lena for keeping her out of the loop.
Mm-hmm.
Lena says it's nothing like that, employing the Patrick Bateman defense of, "He's my cousin."
Good job.
Lisa says, "Is that right, Serge?" And you can say yes or no. I say yes, at least because I'm still trying to get on Lena's good side, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to think I'm a fucking creep teleporting ghost boy.
Yeah.
Lisa says we should leave Lena here while her and I go out on a date. Lena tells Lisa to stop this nonsense. Lena then gives something to Lisa, telling her her mom told her to say hi. Lisa says thanks, then not to expect any special deals just because they're friends. This ends Lena's only speaking point in this entire adventure.
And Lisa's arc as well is over.
Probably.
Sorry, Lisa.
Well, there's more in the back that I think ties into Lisa.
Yeah, that's true. I did stop by here again later, and she asked me if I wanted a ticket to the concert.
Oh, really?
And I think I bought one, or she was out or something. I'm not really sure. I don't think it's imperative that we do that.
Did you go in the back door?
I did. The back room is a bedroom with cluttered shelves and desks. Again, this game makes every place we go lived in.
There's a baguette just on the ground.
Yeah, shit's all fucked up. It's like these people are definitely working all the time, right?
Yeah, there's a small vanity with a gold-bordered mirror, too, and a shelf full of junk. At the end is a twin bed with a bookcase and a bunch of potted plants.
Yeah.
There's also a fucking guy back here.
Yeah, the guy says that he went on his usual trip to Shadow Forest to gather wild plants and found a rare blue-tip mushroom. I told him that I envy him.
Yes, a plain terra enigma. I'm familiar with going to forests and getting mushrooms.
Getting one mushroom.
So he also notices Lena and says it's a pleasant surprise.
Oh.
The little girl he used to know is all grown up, and she has a boyfriend now. Lena calls him silly, and that's it.
Is this game just trying to play for cheap laughs here?
Yeah, so this guy also is kind of like the guy with the polishing the statue, where after he mentions the blue tip mushroom, he says, "Do you envy me?"
Yeah.
What'd you pick? I envy you or not really?
Yes. I said yes.
So did I.
He says to begin with, this mushroom only sprouts one day out of the year. Deep inside the forest, there's a very large tree. The tree has a big hole in it. The hole leads to underground waterway, which is the perfect place for rare mushrooms to grow. If you go deeper, you'll end up in Master Viper's Manor.
Everybody in this city knows a back door to this place.
Yeah, or refers to it as an impenetrable fortress.
Yeah,
so
like they respect him a lot, but if you want to sneak into his house,
yeah,
I got you.
Go to where he picks his shrooms.
He concludes that Master Viper also likes to gather shrooms.
Yes.
That's all I got for Lisa's.
Thanks for that tip there, guy. Where to next? I think we're going to a different screen now.
Yes, I went west screen next, but I can
me too.
adjust.
I did too. Okay,
cool.
We're of one mind.
So we go to the west screen. The west side of this area appears to have a stage ready for the 140th or 100th anniversary of the Termina Festival.
Yes, it's also kind of a port area, right?
Yeah, there's a red carpet next to a dock suggesting someone distinguished may be arriving by boat. Posters of Nikki are visible on the massive boat thing in the background water.
Yeah, there's a couple of different posters here. Could you make out the words on them?
No, I couldn't.
I could make out a couple of them. One of them said music band.
Cool.
Which is...
I kind of like to see.
There's also a huge sign that says Termina Festival Special Live, I think. That's what it said. Hard to say.
So then we see something kind of strange.
Is it the lion tiger man?
There's a tiger man.
Yeah.
He's moving bags of shit off a ship and into a nearby house.
Yeah, he's on a loop here, I think.
Yes, he definitely is working forever. He is stuck in hell.
Yes.
He likes working, but he thinks working all day is tiring. When he rests, however, his overseer gets mad. Did you go ask for the manager? Did you go speak to his boss?
Yeah.
So did I.
What do you say?
Overseer asks what your problem is. Get out of my way, you're bothering me. And then you can ask him, what's your job, or you're not working.
I don't remember what I asked him. I don't think I wrote down.
I asked him, what's your job? And he said, can't you see? I'm the overseer of these demi-humans working here.
Yeah.
These guys always slack on the job if you don't watch them carefully. I need to keep my eyes peeled.
That's a new thing in this universe. I didn't know there were demi-humans.
Oh, we just came from a game with a lot of demi-humans with terrible backstories.
Yeah, and in this
by terrible, I mean like depressing.
Yeah, and in this case, they're enslaved.
Yeah, they're the slave race.
Yeah,
right now.
Weird,
based on one example, but
Chrono Trigger didn't have demi-humans, so maybe something's going on.
Didn't have lizard
here.
People? Wasn't that kind of?
Well, those were from the past. They got extinct, but they're also the mystics, which is the race of people that Ozzy, Flea, and Slash came from that Magus overruled.
Mm-hmm.
So there you have it.
So we can't go all the way west to Termina Fiesta Lane because a guy is standing guard.
No. We have to have authorized personnel only.
Mm-hmm.
But you can go up the stairs onto the boat, right?
But there's one more guy here. There's a man in a purple outfit who tells Serge that once you gaze at the sea for so long, it's hard to tell where I start and the sea ends.
Yes.
He just tries to live it his way. But he may have been drifting along, trapped in the ebb and flow of the ocean's tides. I'm just sitting there and like, yeah, man, right on. But then he says, wouldn't you agree, dear? Then wonders how he could have forgotten as she's already returned to the great sea.
Yes.
God damn it.
Another wistful sea metaphor and about life and death.
These people love worshiping water and their sea metaphors. And if you ever talk to a local in a beach town, because so do they. They are connected to the ocean and the water and speak, like they all talk about like the magic Indian stereotype in Free Willy. So up the staircase, right?
Yep.
The massive green boat, this big honking steamship.
Yep.
This Kislev-looking boat.
I went in the first door, and we find out that Nikki is missing.
Yes, this boat is from the Magical Dreamers. They're in town to play for the Termina Festival.
Mickey.
But before that first door, there's a fucking bunch of groupies out there.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
One says she's going to be Nikki's honey bun.
Yeah.
And she'll make lots of mud pies for him to eat.
Yeah.
What do you think that is? Fake net, what's a mud pie?
Initializing fake net.
Mud pie is a chocolate-based dessert pie that is likely to have originated in the U.S. state of Mississippi. The treat contains a gooey chocolate sauce on top of a crumbly chocolate crust. The pie is usually served with ice cream.
All definitions, please.
According to the Urban Dictionary, mud pie is also the act of ejaculating inside someone's hole while performing.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad you called the fake net for this one because I don't know.
I don't either. I know there's a bad one, though. All right, the guard says this place is off limits. And then, like you said, a woman hears what?
Nikki is missing.
She wonders if he left her for another girl. So Nikki's got groupies.
Yes.
The bottom door, did you go in bottom door or top door?
Bottom door first.
Bottom door is a dressing room. There's a big wooden table in the center on top of a wooden floor. Wooden chairs and counters line the edges.
Mm-hmm.
Two dancers, one in blue and one in green, are looking at themselves in the mirror. Did you speak to the dancers?
Yes.
They're twin backup dancers. What are their names?
Millie and Vanilli. I forgot.
You and me.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You and me. Yeah, here it is.
They are stage support for Nikki and Mickey, but one day they're going to take the lead.
Yes.
There's a crew member down here who says Termina is great, but also confirms that Nikki is missing. He's been found, quote, in a daze a few times lately, like he was here in body but not in spirit. Chris, does Nikki have a drug problem?
No.
Okay.
I think Nikki has a mushroom problem.
Okay. I think those are still drugs, while technically a fungus.
Yeah.
So as you try to exit this room, who pops in?
It's Mickey.
She comes back. She's looking for Nikki.
Yeah, she's a portrait character. She's a dancer. She has long auburn hair and sad eyes.
Red tassels.
And like a moon tiara or something around her head.
Yeah, I got like a skull forehead necklace joined together by a crescent pointing upward in the center.
Yeah, that works. She says that it's no use. She tracked him into Shadow Forest, but there were knights guarding the entrance of the forest, and she could not get in.
She's dressed very extravagantly, and I was like, is she in costume for the show, or is this just a JRPG?
Yes, and yes. She mentions the rumor about the way into Viper Manor, which apparently everybody knows.
Yeah.
And Mickey's not even from here, and she knows about it. Then she asks for help, but I declined because we have more work to do.
Yeah, she concludes instantly that we can help her out apropos of nothing. It's like, oh, hey, you fuckers, you got in here for some reason, so that takes strength.
That happens a couple times in this next section.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I also turned her down, but it's funny. When she asks for your help, you can pick, okay, rock on, or wait a minute.
Yeah. Rock on, man. Next, you went to the...
That's all I did for the west screen. I went to the east side next.
Yes, onto the east side. There's a bridge.
I call it Grifter's Row.
Or, that's a good thing to call it. There's a bridge with various banners and decor hanging down. It's quite beautiful, and there's a humongous Nikki poster hanging here. Yeah. And this is when I definitely thought that Nikki had the Marilyn Manson thing going on here.
It's funny how we'd pick that up differently. I read it as the Michael Jackson His Story.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's probably a caricature of both. But speaking of caricatures, there's a caricature booth on the immediate left.
Yes, I don't think this was here when I first came through.
It wasn't. I caught it on like the third time, but I put it first in my notes because it's the first thing.
I tried to figure out like what the point of this is.
You ever been to like a fair and had somebody draw your face for like $15?
Yeah. I mean, there's value in that.
Yeah.
What's the value of this in the game?
The artist made portraits. Do you want to look at them?
Yeah.
In higher res than the 20% opacity in your menu?
Yeah.
Here it is.
Thanks.
When they appear, they'll draw anyone in your party, and he draws Serge's portrait from the menu screen. Maybe it's the image transparency, but these appear to be cleaner models to me.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah. So there's also an orange tent with eyes in it.
Yes, you go there and it pops out an old person. It's a fortune teller. You can get your fortune read.
He says that fortunes can be good or bad, but I pick Serge, obviously.
Okay.
And he has the best reaction ever. You're not dead or anything, are you?
Yeah.
Has anybody called you back from the great beyond? You might just be the key to the destruction of this entire planet. I can't say for sure, but fate seems to have a great task for you. Be careful now, boy. And then kid, did you hear what kid says?
So you had kid in your party at this point in time? Yeah. Kid comes in and she says that's nothing but rubbish.
Rubbish.
And the fortune teller then tells Kid that she perceives both the look of a beauty and the look of a beast. Be mindful not to bring your own end, my dear. A dream lies in wait, reaching out to engulf you. Kid notes that I make, for me, my own future by myself, which is awkward.
Yes, she denies fortune telling is real.
Yes. So the first person that I got my fortune read was Mojo.
Mm-hmm. What'd they say for Mojo?
The fortune teller says there is someone, no, a thatch of straw that is most dear to you in this vicinity.
Sure.
It's true. We'll get to that later.
Okay, because I found a thatch of straw later, but I didn't have Mojo with me, so I'm curious if you tried to bone the... Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
So did you get any more fortunes?
I got Guile later, but...
Okay, well, I went and got Lena and Pashul.
Okay, thank you for that. I meant to do this and I forgot.
These are both very good.
Okay.
For Lena, the fortune is, you will not find a boyfriend for a long time.
That's a good fortune.
Followed by, fortune telling is such a merciless thing. Lena thinks this is rude.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of rude, but
and
you know.
Then Pashul, beware of fat and overeating. Well, I guess that goes without saying.
Damn, Pashul only weighs 28 pounds. Come on now.
Yeah, but 3 feet tall. So after that, ruckus, you walk down the path and you're interrupted by 2 kids running and saying, Yahoo!
There's a person at the booth that wants us to see the prize of all prizes, a live mermaid.
Big time carny energy.
Indeed.
He says it's not for sale, but it's his most prized item.
Yep.
He pulls back the sheet to reveal something blue in a tank of water.
Yes.
He notes this isn't some stuffed animal. It's really alive. Her skin is pure and clear like it's made from crystal, and her eyes are like gems. I feel awful.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay. I feel bad
it's like
too.
A thing stuck in a jar.
Especially because you can't do anything about it at this point in time.
But something neat happens. A person crawls up from behind the stall and throws rocks at us.
Yeah.
Who's this?
This is Korcha. He's a young kid with a Dan-like hairline, a smile, and some face painting. He maybe is only wearing a loincloth or some shorts or something.
Yeah.
He's got a darker skin tone as well.
He asks us how we would feel if we were trapped in a tank and being stared at every day.
Yes.
That's when the merchant tells us this is Korcha. Korcha then says the merchant is selling, quote, a bunch of bull.
Yeah.
And asks why he keeps a cover over the tank. So is the mermaid a farce?
Not sure.
Because Korcha's like defending it and also saying it's bullshit?
Yeah, or maybe it's just a person. Who knows? He says, how would Cha feel?
Yeah, he says Cha.
If you were trapped in a tank like that, being stared at every day, huh? The kids and everybody are like, oh yeah, it's Korcha. So he seems like people know who he is. And
yeah, Korcha regularly apparently shows up to harass this guy.
Yeah.
He says the shop is a bunch of baloney, and the merchant screams at Korcha to get back to his demi-human friends.
Yeah.
So Korcha isn't demi-human, but his friends are.
Yes. So he's saying that he associates with the apparent lower class at this point in time.
Korcha also sees us about ready to get taken and says not to wander around too much or we're going to get burned.
Yeah. He's a good-hearted menace, I think.
Yes. He's chaotic good.
Yeah.
He then leaps off the bridge like a complete asshole, like doing the splits or something.
He jumps down into this canoe that's also got this additional sidecar kind of thing on it. You know,
no, it's the boat from Waterworld. It's the Mariner's boat.
Or that.
Did he land in the water or on the boat? Did he like a 3-point ninja land on that boat?
I think he landed on the boat, but I could be wrong. As Korcha sails away, the shopkeeper tells us that Korcha is from Guldove, which is a location we have not heard of at this point in time.
Well, you can also, the guy, the fucking, the mermaid guy is also a trading post.
Oh, yeah, you can trade like the monster
money for
eyes
materials.
And stuff. Yeah. I didn't really do much of that because I thought I might need them for equipment or something.
Did you talk to the person overlooking the bridge, the suicide person?
Oh, yeah, that person didn't show up till later for me.
He said, I should just jump in the river and ... And when you give them attention, they deflect and state that since the weather is so hot, they thought the river would be cool. Chris, actually suicidal or just hot?
I think just hot in this case, because people in Termina seem to be, even though some of them are down on their luck, they seem to be happy.
Yeah, nobody here is overtly depressed. And then the food vendor notes that his wares aren't selling, saying a Viper Festival isn't a Viper Festival until you have Viper churros.
Yes.
Then asks if we think 100G is too much for a churro. What'd you tell him?
I told him that it was a bit cheap.
I told him it was too much.
Oh, what would he do?
I then told him to charge 30G. It lets the player select what amount of G you want to charge. And he says he thinks he should be charging a tad more.
Oh, okay. When I told him it was a bit cheap, he forced me to pay 100G and have one. So now I have a Viper. I now have a Viper churro in my inventory. I don't know.
Is it like one of your special items?
I'm not sure.
In your square inventory?
I don't think so. I think it might be just an...
Is it an element? Can you eat it during battle?
I'm not sure.
So apparently there's ingredients for Viper churros. What's in those things?
Hecarim bones.
Ew.
A little water from Water Dragon Isle. Then wrap them up with Biba skin.
Bones, water, and skin, huh?
Add some sugar and spices. Get steaming coals from Mount Pyre and bake them. For the finishing touch, we add in the famed Dragon's Glory.
Dude, none of that's food.
It is
What'd
here.
You just buy? Did you just buy a weapon?
Yeah, I don't know.
A possessed artifact?
You can eat it. So, the last vendor.
The vendor at the very end of the stairs says he overslept and that this corner was the last place open for stalls. He also notes the shrines are just past this point, and while they are called shrines, they are really graves.
Yes.
It makes him feel uneasy. It is also rumored that a possessed giant and a girl live in the shack near the shrine.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, okay, thank you. So next time, Chris, what's down the stairs?
Yeah.
What's north of Grifter's Row? Who are these three people we have to find?
What's in the box? Let's consult the RealNet real quick, Eric.
Okay.
Initializing RealNet.
Jumper says, I always thought Termina was pronounced like in Majora's Mask. I didn't know Majora's Mask had voice acting. Or people saying Termina. Is that true?
I didn't. Who you're asking?
I'm going to play that. I got the book on it.
I bought the 3DS version. You want that?
Sure. I mean, not now. I got too much other shit to do, but...
That game in Dragon Quest VII came out a year after the PS2 came out.
That worked really well because the backwards compatibility was really good. So, in reference to Termina, Another World, Jumper says this song really feels like a Mitsuda song, which I agree with. We mentioned that too. It's got
Mitsuda Prime.
Yeah, indeed. It's got the bagpipes, the Irish feel. SSC Ninja says, and this is in reference to you getting rid of Pashul, Pashul sent to the farm.
Yes, the Rainbow Bridge.
SSC Ninja says, oh man, Ogre Battle, Retrograde Amnesia bonus win.
Isn't that one of those games that has like grids?
Actually, Ogre Battle is way more complex than that.
We have to like select attacks.
It's got parties of characters that you move in a real-time strategy game, and when they encounter another party, they stop and do a battle.
You know how when you were a kid, you could automatically sniff out edutainment shows or edutainment games as like not being real because you were also learning something at the same time? I factored tactics games in the same thing. It was too much math. Yeah. I didn't want to think when I was playing video games.
Well,
I want to pick axle and shoot fire missiles at Sweet Tooth.
One day, you're going to play Final Fantasy Tactics, Eric.
We'll see.
It's a hole in your lore.
It's a hole in the middle of the CD that I throw it through the wall.
Jumper says at this point in the game, I did not know that most portrait characters could be party members, so I only had Guile and Kid.
You still haven't really been hit by the avalanche of these people yet, because right now there's still an average amount of portrait characters.
I'm pretty sure the first time I played it, I missed Pashul, I missed Lena.
Yeah, so did I.
I missed Mojo, all that kind of stuff.
You never knew about Lena and Lisa's relationship until now. I
don't know what this means, Eric. Maybe you do. Nikki is also kind of inspired by Visual Kei, K-E-I. Visual Kei, I think I'm pronouncing that right, is a Japanese rock movement. The wiki says, it translates roughly to visual style or visual system, is a movement among Japanese musicians that is characterized by the use of varying levels of makeup, elaborate hairstyles, flamboyant costumes, But that makes sense too. But that makes more sense, this being a Japanese game.
I'm primarily familiar with Guitar Wolf for Japanese rock.
Alter Impulse says, why do so few JRPGs have actual toilets?
Xenogear said that big boy toilet.
Save the world by finding the plumber rather than being the plumber.
That's one thing I gave Mass Effect credit for is toilets took up a lot of spot on the Normandy, but there were 2 gender bathrooms there.
I once went to a bar that was like a library pre-COVID. That's a good idea. Library bar. I mean, don't shut down your libraries to build a bar, but...
I went to a slide theme bar in San Francisco at one point.
That sounds miserable.
Yeah. You know what it's called? Slide.
Oh, great. Some fucking tech startup broke in with that idea. Alter Impulse says, Fortune Teller is actually pretty funny and unique to take everyone and see what the
That's my plan. Whenever we do our, like... Obviously, we're going to do a segment now. We're going to look at the character bios, and I want to have a fortune teller complement to that when possible.
Oh, yeah. Just whenever you have a chance of new characters, go back and grab them.
Yeah.
Good idea.
I'm sure also someone may have written those down somewhere so we can cheat.
Okay, and that's all the comments in the RealNet tonight, it appears. Thank you for joining us tonight. This episode has been a production of Retrograde Amnesia, recorded on August 21st, 2020. Thank you, Mark
Shepard,
for the intro track.
You're welcome, Chris.
Find us on Twitter at Retro Amnesia Pod. Subscribe, rate, and review us wherever you get your podcast. More importantly, tell your friends. A friend, any friends. Email the show at retrogradeamnesiapodcast@gmail.com if you have anything to say. And if you like us, support us on Patreon, patreon.com/retroam. Get early access, bonus episodes, miniseries, and more. Until next time.
Yes, we will kill God.
And now, you may go back to sleep. Until next time, Eric.
You gotta do the outro.
I didn't do the outro. Get burly access.
Get burped.
A young quote in his email sig, and he knows that I do a podcast, and I started talking about Xenogears one day.
If you convert your therapist to Patreon,
he was like, he was actually pretty informed because I was trying to explain to him what we do, and he goes, "Japanese games? You mean like Pokemon?" And I was like, kinda, but think about it from think about narratives and stuff. So, test your mic one more time.
Pashul is putting. Unfortunately, we can't listen to Fake Net Live.
Okay, so can we just start with Acacian?
Acadian?
Acadian?
Arcadia.
Acadia.
Stadia.
Acadia.
Acadia? Not Acadia.
I think CIA usually makes a Cia sound, right? So
Acacia?
Acacia.
Ocasio-Cortez?
Acacia.
We'll go with Acacia until we're corrected.
Okay, thank you. We have to trim that segment down a little bit.
Yeah, that was shit. That was garbage.
Yeah, we're going to trim that down to like us only saying that like 3 times.
Turbulent weather.
And that ghost he's hunting, ain't you that mate? Ain't that you, mate? I was actually watching a episode of Hot Ones last night, and Drew Barrymore said that she loves David Bowie, Lady Gaga, and Madonna, because every time they come out, she never knows what they're going to look like.
Yeah.
Not just what they're wearing, but they're just going to look different. And maybe that's Nikki.
Hey, Chris, okay. I have a U of L basketball signed by Rex Chapman.
What? You know how most people only know of Rex Chapman
fucking meme guy.
as the guy who steals memes.
Yeah. The fuck? He was arrested like 3 years ago.
Yeah, he got his shit together too.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, good for him.
Good for him.
Okay, what the yeah, so this guy,
we just made the fake net say good for him because we both repeated each other when we said
good for him.
Yeah, it happened. Okay, anyway, so the next place I went to was, sorry.
No, I got it clearly marked.
Your analog.
Pick one.
Church. No, bar, sorry. There's no church.
It's like, there's a church?
No,
what the fuck?
No, the bar.
Oh, the one next to the county clerk?
Yeah.
Okay.
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Eric. I thought you were going to make a joke. And you were
no, I was just trying to think what the hell you're talking about.
Okay, yeah.
No one else knows this.
Third Turn Brewing.
Yep, that's
Jeffersontown, Kentucky. They have good beer, and they're nice people. Yeah. Wow. Well, that's something.
Sure is.
I have nothing to add there.
No.
Probably to cut me out saying that. Move to the next thing. Thanks.
The guard says this place is off limits. And then, like you said, a woman hears what?
Mickey. Her name is Mickey? Is that what you asked me?
I've got a woman heard. Who's missing for you, Nikki or Mickey?
Oh, I'm sorry. Nikki is missing.
You ever been in a shop when some random person shows up and the person running the shop hides?
No.
I was in J-Town Video when that existed down there, and Meatball rolled up.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
She just ducked behind and said, "I'm not here."
Yeah, I saw Meatball riding down the street the other day.
I rode bikes with him last month.
Yeah, I remember you.
It was good.
Yeah, I remember that.
What do you do?
She's my cousin.
Uh-huh.
She's from France.